let go of my shirt, bud. Let go. There you go.
You're so small. I would think that they would be not soft.
Yep.
They're so soft.
So they don't have any scent glands or sweat glands, and so that's the reason they don't have a smell.
What you chewing on?
They are just chomping on their teeth.
Oh.
Yep. They're bad teeth grinders.
We have a cat like that. I don't really know what she does, but it's so soft.
He's probably gonna reach for your camera, flash above you. So I'm gonna give him one of these. See how he likes to go for the thing. He just thinks it's anything. He's like, oh, it's food. Oh, it's this.
Can I reach up and pet it? Or?
Yeah, you can go to the back and stuff. Yeah, just same rules as him.
You like my phone?
He's just like
You think
anything
it's
sticking.
food?
And I'm gonna give you a little bit of rice, a big dash there.
Dash! You smell the food.
It does. I'm looking for a small container for you. We have a container for you up here. Let's see. We're gonna put it in your bare hand. You ready?
Nope, I'm good.
There you go.
Just flat.
And then there's some more for him. And sorry, you guys probably will be wearing some of the sloth's food, but
We have a 4-year-old and an
Oh, okay.
8-year-old, and I worked at a preschool, so I'm used to.
Not interested, huh?
he wants a little bit of this rice. Now you're definitely gonna get a mess, but are you ready?
Yeah.
It'll
Really
take you a
your
minute.
hair.
Yeah, there you go. See, he'll start
Where do
to
they live?
Central and South America, Costa Rica, Brazil. You go and get close to them, there you go.
He's saying, bring it closer.
Uh-huh. They need it to be about 75 to 80 degrees and 50% humidity. So as you can imagine, there's not a ton of places.
No.
And do you guys have a phone? I'll take pictures for you.
Yeah, I've got it in my pocket actually.
Okay, I was like,
Yeah.
this is on TikTok and YouTube, so
Yeah.
you'll be able to pull it down later on.
Okay.
But yeah, anytime you guys want me to get any photos, I
Yeah,
can.
that'd be great.
How'd you guys find out about
Yeah.
this?
There was a friend of mine at work.
Oh, that's right. I
Yeah.
asked you out here with the
Yeah.
cameras. That's right.
She showed me, I guess one of her friends came. I forget
Yeah.
if it was the
There you go.
sloths or the kangaroos.
Tissue also.
I'm gonna fix it because you've got some on your.
Yeah, recreate it. There you go.
There's a little bit of rice left.
Here, I get both. Yeah.
That's my wife's. She lets me stay indoors most of the time. But when I moved here, I was in the apartment industry, and COVID was very bad.
The Knoxville Zoo sloth
I've got, there's a little,
enclosure.
just a little bit left.
And,
Oh, there you go. It just locked itself. It says my face wasn't recognized.
0512 is the password.
There you go. I have so many phones that I use here that I'm like, I have no idea what I'm supposed to
I
type
bet.
in now.
There's one little piece of rice right there.
Oh,
There you go. Tiny little bit right
it gets
there.
all stuck in my fingers.
That's amazing that they can eat upside down. I don't have any more.
So we could do the same thing that they do, it just wouldn't be fun. Periostalis, that ability to kind of swallow.
Yeah.
Animals that don't have it are like birds. So you see when they go in, they like shake their throat and they look ridiculous when they're eating. But we could do this also. What he does have that's unique is all of his internal organs are attached to each other and to the ribs with a connective tissue. So they're gonna fall out of the trees probably once a week in the wild. And the reason for that is they're just trying to get the freshest leaf, or like a harpy eagle lands or a big jaguar trying to get them, and they crash to the ground. And the reason they survive is because that connective tissue in all their ribs. So they have 46 ribs,
Oh,
2
wow.
sets of 23. So it's like double what we have, right?
Yeah.
So he's like built
It's
like a tank.
extra, like, protected.
Exactly. And you know, like when we get in a car wreck, it's that secondary impact that hurts us.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't get that.
How did they? I would think there would just be so many predators that would catch them?
They rely on being really, really quiet. They don't have any sweat glands. They don't make any noise. So like that's all their defense is remaining undetected.
Okay.
Oh,
Yes.
here we go.
Dash there likes to munch. He's actually starting to lighten up a lot now. Before he was dark all over. So people would come in like January, February, and they're like, "Oh, I want to get a picture." I'm like, "Looks like you're holding lead." Like
Yeah.
you couldn't see him.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't.
Do you want to film a little bit more?
Sure.
Sometimes people are like, "I don't want any more of that stuff on my hands." I'm like, it does feel.
Well,
weird.
I mean, it's kind of like you come knowing you're gonna get a little messy.
You got a little bit more for a dash there.
Sure. He said, more please.
Their
What
tongues
else
are
are-
actually soft.
Yes. When else are you gonna be able to feel slot that in your hand?
Yeah. And it was accurate on the farm tour. They read like, our farm animals don't know personal space.
Yeah,
And
they get up in there.
Yeah.
Especially out there in the pet farm when you got that alfalfa pellets.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's like you better be ready to have a friend.
Mm-hmm.
I try to do a good job of showing people that they get to see a lot more than just goats on the farm
Oh,
tour. You know?
yeah.
I'm like,
Oh,
there's
yeah.
a lot of really cool
There's a-
stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know of a zoo that I've been to that you got to see this variety, you know?
Yeah.
Definitely not pet.
Mhm. I actually just went to the Ashboro Zoo over there east of Charlotte.
Mm-hmm.
My girlfriend had to go over there for a conference, and so I have an 8-year-old daughter, and so I was like, well, let's go check this out. And it was cool because it was huge, but most of the animals, you're like, they're so far away.
50 yards. to
Yeah.
the animal.
Yeah, I'm like, you can't see anything. But we did get to feed a giraffe, and because it was so hot and nobody else was there, so we got to feed a giraffe for like 20 minutes.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have the not kangaroo, giraffe feeding at the Knoxville Zoo. 'Cause
Yeah.
We're from Knoxville.
Right.
And that is really fun to do.
Yeah.
That's about the only animals that they have really that are kind of exotic.
Yeah. Flash is like, so you got more? You gotta get him over that rice, bro.
Well, he acted a little disinterested towards the end. I thought maybe he was full.
And it's funny because sometimes either any of the sauce will get stuff shoved in their nose, and then when they're going to pick it with those gigantic claws, it looks hilarious.
Yeah.
I'm like, how do you not rip your nose in half?
Yeah.
Did you get a picture where both of us
Yeah,
are in it?
and there's some video too, but here you can look through it, and if you want more, you can take as many as you want.
Let me get it readjusted here.
I know. Yeah, it's not got food on it. You can lick it.
He's like, I want to eat this so bad. Flash, you're being really nice. He's like, are you
Is it fur or hair that they have?
hair?
Hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you could, since he's hanging down here, that's where we could get both of us in the picture.
Oh yeah. Alright, we got a bunch of angles.
Yeah, it's,
You've pretty much eaten
we
it
told a
all.
lot of people about this place.
Awesome.
This is, like no other zoo. I mean, even going to like SeaWorld, they have a petting tank,
Mhm.
but the variety you get here is really,
Yeah. And we're always working on making more stuff, like we're gonna have more stuff with the monkey soon, and then we have the fennec fox.
yeah.
So always trying to do fun stuff.
Foxes
Yeah.
are pretty stinky though.
No?
No?
Mm-mm.
I guess it's one of the other
Welcome.
kinds of
No.
foxes that were.
Flash has had a little bit more rice.
Yeah? So you wanna go the other way now?
You wanna cuddle a baby?
Yeah, let's switch.
Hey Flash, you wanna come in here, Bob?
And you don't even have to hold him, he's just gonna kinda cuddle to you.
You know, as I'm now thinking a little, we may need to see if she's able to climb in there before we put him into here.
I mean, I think that,
Claws are pretty small for the low ones.
well,
Maybe we'll keep him out and just carry her in there in a minute and see if she climbs up or not.
cause yeah, that low one, she probably needs one more coming down.
She might. I guess thank you, Dash.
He's so soft. That was the one thing that I didn't expect. That
He just started getting his adult haircut.
So cute.
You scroll back in TikTok or Facebook or something, not terribly far, you'd see he was still espresso brown over his whole body. And his adult hairs, which, you know, that's these longer ones
Yes.
that make his top coat.
Yes.
His adult hairs have just started coming through and he's starting to turn a little bit silvery like the other guy. What you doing there, Flash? Good morning, buddy.
He is soft.
Got a
He's a
lot.
little bit more wiry, but he's
Flash
pretty soft.
and Dash.
Flash and Dash, yeah. He was burying his face in that rice, that's what he had.
Oh, was
he? Yeah. Are you coming in?
Oh,
You got a cute face. You got a cute face. Yes, you do.
Never.
I love the videos of sloths swimming because they can swim pretty fast.
I think they swim fast because they'll sink otherwise because they're
Oh.
super dense.
Okay.
I mean, there's no fat on a sloth, basically.
Really?
But I don't know that to be a fact. I'm conjecture.
Mm-hmm.
Every time we're on a live though with the baby, we're careful to do a disclaimer to say, please don't look at what we're doing here and think it's a good idea to buy a sloth. That is positively not. There is no reputable breeder of sloths who will sell a sloth to a member of the general public. So if you see a sloth for sale online, which is legal, it's just reprehensible, you are buying an animal that was captured from the rainforest, and that is a horrible thing to do. And our sloths here are many generations captive bred. And this is like a house cat versus a feral cat. Your house cat will sit in your lap and purr while you pet it. Feral cat will not. And according to slothconservation.org or slothconservancy.net or the government of Costa Rica, these sloths that are taken from the rainforest to be pets have an average lifespan of 2 months. So please don't do that. And also, if you're going to a sloth encounter, please look before you book. The places that are booking the same sloth for many hours a day are interested in money, not sloths. Please don't participate in that.
Yeah,
You getting sleepy?
it's relaxing just holding it, you know.
We have talked a number of times about the zen sense of chill that seems to kind of overwhelm some people. And you would be surprised how many people just break out bawling when they hold a sloth.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just have a visceral response to it.
Yeah. And you start feeding them pretty early, and that's how you get them.
No, not feeding, just holding. They start being held at 12 days of age. And the reason they're not held before that is they're eating food out of their mother's mouth. That's how they get their initial bacteria colony.
Yeah.
Mom chews the food, and that gets the bacteria from her mouth onto the food, and then the baby eats the food out of mom's mouth. So you don't want to interrupt that bonding process, and you don't want to interrupt that nutrition. And so you don't start to hold until they're 12 days old, but then they're held every day from 12 days forward. Starts from 30 seconds and 45, then a minute, so on and so forth, until by the time the mother weans the baby of her own choosing, that baby is being held for 30 and 45 minutes a few times a day by different people. So it's not bonded to just one person.
Yeah. Do you have your phone?
They have 1220 and 1240.
Mm-hmm.
Get a picture.
Yeah.
One, two, three, cheese. The armadillo cracks me up. He just runs one way and then the other, and then one way.
Yeah. He's like always on the big hunt.
the back legs look like the front?
So the back legs are gonna have 3 claws. So whether they're 2-toed or a 3-toed, the back legs always have the 3 digits.
So they don't move fast in any scenario.
I think they move really quick. Like right there, how Flash is moving is pretty quick. But Zoe, the bigger one that's over here, she will like book it when she wants you to hold her. She's like, no, come here, come here, come here. Like she'll chase you out of the room.
Do they like sleep much while being held?
They'll kind of like rest their eyes, but I mean they're really only getting held. Let's say Dash gets held the most, maybe 3 hours. So they have plenty of time to chill. And a lot of times they'll close their eyes, and people are like, oh, they're sleeping. No, they're just kind of comfortable, and their eyes don't really work because they're horrible vision.
They can't see.
No. They have monochromacy, which means they only see in black and white.
Okay.
Yeah, and then you can see how small their pupils are.
Yeah.
So
It
if you
doesn't
put
let a lot of light in.
exactly, and it's very narrow field of vision. Like they can't see way out here. So like if you put your hand over your eyes like a scope, that's how narrow they see.
Okay.
They can hold on pretty good to you though, can't they?
Oh yeah. So that clenched in state is the relaxed state. So they could actually die upside down, hanging on in the trees and not fall.
Right.
So when I'm moving her around you guys, like she has to think, or they have to think, relax to open up. That's how they can just hold themselves all day. Because their tendons are set up opposite of ours. Like this is relaxed. Right, Flash?
Hi, Flash. There's a green bean down here that you might want.
Well, no,
Oh,
yeah,
don't give it
not off the
stuff
floor.
off the floor.
Yeah,
Okay.
but if there's any more in the bowl, completely okay. Just because there's
Bowl
so
or
yeah,
Okay.
any of the bowls is fine. Just because there's so much stuff on the floor that we don't want to.
get them sick.
Yeah.
There's no 5-second rule.
Mm-hmm.
You want this?
He's like maybe.
Oh yeah.
Zucchini's my favorite.
But the baby doesn't eat the vegetables.
No, she does, but just really, really chopped up. Like that's what's in that rice, but just really finely chopped up. Like maybe we could do mouth to mouth on a sloth, but I don't want to try.
No.
Yeah.
I'm like, I feel like that's gonna go
That's
bad.
gonna be really slimy.
Yeah.
More?
Dash's fur is a little bit softer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, got growing out of that baby fur and baby hair.
Yeah, I expected it to be really rough and tough,
Mm-mm.
so that was really cool. More, please. I just think it's so cool how God made all the different types of animals and just the connection that you can have and
Yeah,
taking care of them, because that's what we're supposed to do.
and it's pretty cool that we get to share a lot of this on field trips with public school kids and like the sloths. Like if there wasn't the sloth moth, the sloth wouldn't be alive, and that sloth moth wouldn't be alive. And then like camels, like how they can take so much water and they don't have a tank. It's their blood cells that absorb it. It's really cool to share all that with kids.
Oh yeah. So how do we find? I don't have TikTok. Like it's on YouTube.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can just Google Ocoee Riverside Farm on YouTube, and it's on there.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you're posting,
A lot.
yeah,
Mm-hmm. Like on TikTok. I
several
think-
videos a day.
Yeah, well, we do a lot of lives. Like that's what it is right now is
Yeah.
lives, and then I go back and cut and edit, and make videos
Yeah.
and stuff. So yeah, on TikTok it's like 160 something thousand. Facebook it's like 150. YouTube it's only like 10,000, but it's growing. Just takes a lot of work.
Yeah. You wanna hold the babies?
That's okay.
Are you Lizzie?
It's Laura.
Oh, somebody said, tell my friend Lizzie happy birthday. And sometimes it's like other people that are here that I don't know. And I'm like, oh, okay.
No, not my birthday. His birthday is the next one coming up, but it's in July.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, that, you know, I did spend a lot of time on your website, but I didn't know there was like the armadillo. I had no idea, or the any of the
Zebra.
monkey, or the different gecko,
Yeah.
or bearded dragon,
How many
alpaca.
birds do you all have?
How many birds? Well, the, my brain just stopped. Oh my gosh. So we have macaws and cockatoos, but not the parakeets, the ones with the crazy tails.
Peacocks?
Peacocks, there we go. Sorry, my brain was
No, you're
like,
good.
we have like 6 of those, so they're
Okay.
all over the property. That's the reason I was like, well, peacocks are birds and they're all
Yes.
over the property. So there's like
The
6 peacocks.
parrots.
Yeah, so we have 2 macaws, a cockatoo, and then Thomas the turkey, because he's obviously a
Yes.
bird. But I think Thomas is probably the coolest because he's flighted and he just walks around the farm and wants to stay here.
Oh, that's so cool.
So, and he's super friendly.
Does the peacocks, are they territorial, or they protect like?
Not too much. I mean, they do make a good alarm system just because they're loud, but that's why we have the Great Pyrenees.
Yeah.
They take care of
Yeah.
issues like that,
You
but
wanna feed him?
So the ones that you say you start holding them from an early age, and that makes them.
yes. So
That's
Dash and Zoe came to us from a breeder and a sloth expert who's been dealing with sloths for 30 years.
Yeah.
And so that's how long he's been breeding sloths and rescuing sloths. So we go off of his advice for a lot of things.
Yeah.
And that's where our 4th sloth will come from also.
Yeah.
Did you smell the rice and decide you wanted more? I was giving you more, but you just kept going back up there.
He's so funny sometimes about his food.
There's a really cool video on Answers in Genesis of the Creation Museum.
Mm-hmm.
They have a sloth, and it was so that they were trying to train it to be able to go on a scale so they could weigh it.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool.
It is a challenge to weigh them because we usually just bring a stick out, let them climb on the stick, then we walk the stick over to the scale.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Zoe's fine. She holds on to you.
Yeah.
Flash has never been held by us.
He just doesn't like it.
He's just never done it. So like before here, he was even just behind a glass and never even interacted with. So this is already way different for him.
So if you try to hold him, would he try to bite at you? Would he?
No, he just pulls away. And we're never gonna force on him. Like
okay.
I put food on my shoulders all the time, and he just eats it off. And if he climbs on me one day, great. But we're not gonna force him to do it.
Yeah.
Is that the okay? It seems like if people were wanting to own sloths, is that the thing that unless they're held from like super early?
Well, that
You
and
shouldn't have them.
yeah, they need 75 to 80 degrees, 50% humidity. So remember when it was like 0 for like 2 or 3 weeks around here?
Right.
Our heating bill was through the roof.
Yeah.
So like keeping your house at that, and then it's not exactly like you can just run to a vet and be like, oh, Fluffy's sick, you
Yeah.
know. So their diet is really, really particular, and if you only have one sloth, then if you're trying to get it healthy, then you don't have the other microbes from another healthy sloth. So it's
The colony kind
yeah.
of helps the other ones.
Yeah.
It's the probiotics from
Exactly.
And I will definitely be telling all my friends and shooting the.
Awesome.
I'll find the link on YouTube and
Yeah.
shoot it to my friends and stuff.
And I'll probably edit some short snippets out of it and put
Yeah.
it on the other stuff. But
Yeah.
yeah, it'll look cool because he was hanging down a bunch eating from y'all.
Yeah.
That's why I like him still hanging out because he hangs
Right.
down.
Yeah. How old was he when he got here?
So let's see if he's been here for like 4 years. So he was like 4.
Okay.
And he's how he's
Like
8
se-
now,
yeah,
7
8.
or 8. Our son is 8.
My daughter's 8. Her birthday will be at the end of summer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
He just turned 8, but he looks like he's probably 10 years old because he's so tall.
Yeah. My little girl's tall too.
Tall and skinny.
My girlfriend's 5'2", and my daughter is probably already almost like 5 foot, and it's
Really?
hilarious. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
Flash ate some
Cup
more.
2 of coffee.
Do they
Yeah.
drink lots of water or not?
They hardly drink that much. We are required to keep it out, and we always have water available from 'em, but they're getting most of their water from when they eat.
vegetation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do feel like sometimes when Flash eats a lot of sweet potato, because sweet potato is kind of dry, but then he's like, I kind of want something wet, you know?
Yeah. That makes sense. Our daughter is not a huge drinker, and our son is a huge drinker on
Yeah.
liquids.
Uh-huh.
And I think the reason is because she just eats so much fruit and
Right.
so much water
Yeah.
in the fruit that she doesn't feel like she needs any.
Right.
But I didn't think we were ever gonna break him from the bottle. Like
Yeah.
literally, he was probably 3 years old before he stopped having milk in the morning and the evening.
He was hungry.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
Oh yeah.
He still will ask
He's a
when he
good,
wakes up
Yeah.
for milk in the morning.
Yeah.
And then
Oh,
he
yeah.
wants it before he goes to bed.
That's funny. 'Cause- so
Oh, yeah.
my daughter never had a bottle, but only thing she drinks now is water,
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
which I'm so stoked about.
Yeah,
Like,
that's me. I only drink water. I
kids that
don't.
I see chugging sodas, I'm like, no wonder they're
It's-
flipping out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
She had a Fanta once, and I was like, never doing that again. I was like, that's like crack in there or something.
Yeah. The sugar
Yeah.
and all the dyes in it.
Mm-hmm.
I think they make them really crazy too.
Flash, you're doing a good job putting on a show, bud.
If you come down here, I'll feed you.
I like how it rotates. I think it's amazing.
Yes.
He's like,
He's like, I don't really like green beans. I'm with you, bud. I would rather have the zucchini than the green beans. The green beans kind of taste like dirt.
I think you might just be readjusting, maybe.
So like Dash, it seeks out the human.
Dash is so small that he kind of is just like a blob.
He doesn't
Yeah.
know what's
Yeah,
going
he's
on.
like,
I'm just
okay,
here.
somebody, yeah. Zoe's the one, like, earlier we had the store open to see if Flash wanted to go in there, because we're going to try to put him in this area for a while. Zoe's the one who's, like, sprinting out, like, grabbing the door, like, hey, what are you guys doing? Hey, trying to swipe at him, and he's like, I just want to eat. I don't want to go in there right now, like, what you would think a sloth is typically like.
Mhm.
Zoe does not act like a sloth.
I am surprised at the softness.
Oh,
Now,
yeah.
I know, like, in the
Yeah.
rainforest, like, moss grows on them because they're so still, like, when they...
Well, it's that the sloth moth crawls up onto them
Okay.
when they use the bathroom.
Okay.
So when they come down out of the tree and they use the bathroom, that's when the sloth moth crawls up
Crawls
onto
on
them. But they do have bacteria and algae growing on them
Oh,
because
bacteria.
because they slow. But the reason all those bugs are living in their fur is when they come down and use the bathroom. But then when they groom themselves, that's where they get the bacteria to digest their food. So if they didn't have that symbiotic relationship, it wouldn't work.
Okay.
That's what John was saying, that when they're born, in that first days, is the baby is really the mom's mouth to get that bacteria culture started.
Yeah. It's you said the sloth moth,
Correct.
which is
Do
an
you
insect.
have some?
Mm-hmm. No, we don't have any. I just made a video that kind of has a little bit better picture on it, so we're putting up a video that kind of shows. They're small. They're like little white winged moths. They're like maybe the size of your fingernail.
Okay.
Yeah.
And there's a symbiotic, you said.
Relationship.
So
Yeah.
they,
Kind of like the remora and the shark.
Yeah. Like it's the
They
moth
eat off
is
parasites.
living off of the poop
yeah.
basically, right?
Yeah.
And then the sloth gets that bacteria, and that's what allows it to process.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do they have to have special stuff to kind of mimic that to help?
It's only when it gets kind of out of whack. So
Okay.
when it gets out of whack and we see that his poop is too hard or too runny, that means the bacteria is out of whack.
Right.
So we try to encourage bacteria growth like if it was too hard with fruit, because fruit has
Yes,
fructose,
yes.
pulls up the bacteria. If it's getting way too runny and things like that, then we try to do probiotics. So probiotics in the rice and things like that, and then that way he gets his stomach culture going.
I wonder how their intelligence compares to like a dog or a cat.
You know, sometimes I'm like, you are so dumb.
Yeah.
But then other times I'm like, oh, okay, you kind of got it figured out. I think they're kind of like really good at like spatial reasoning,
Mm-hmm.
but like that second and third step higher intelligent thing,
Mm-hmm.
it's a no-go.
Okay.
They're sweet.
They're sweet. They're just so cute.
Yeah.
And they can't see real well, so that would probably hinder their like ability to learn
Yeah.
as much, I guess.
And they're really the only form of communication is like, so when they go into heat, the female will make like a really loud squeal,
Mm-hmm.
and that's her signal that she's ready to have a baby,
Mhm.
and then they do it, and that's it. Like there's no like, hey, we're hanging out together, we're a family. That's it.
Procreation and that's it.
Yeah.
And like in the
Closes
wild,
its
do they
eyes.
have like how many male and females, or is it just they're kind of solitary?
Solitary.
Solitary.
Oh yeah. And they like 99% of the time almost only have one baby.
Wow.
They have it in the trees, and it dangles from the umbilical cord, and then they scoop it up, bite it, and rock and roll.
Do you have them here just because you love sloths? Just
Yeah.
a real fan of sloth. Yeah.
They're so cute.
The camel condo was designed around the sloth's enclosure. So this enclosure goes up 2 stories.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you're up at the camel condo, you have a big like plexiglass window, so you
Yeah.
can see flash all the time. So if you have 10 people, it's a really good deal. If you have like 4 people, it's kind of expensive. But so we stayed in it when it snowed because nobody was here. And I was like, this will be awesome. And my daughter stayed with us. But the bunk rooms are hidden through a wardrobe. So it's just like Chronicles of Narnia.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so kids love it. So you open
Oh,
it up
yeah.
and there's 2 hidden bunk rooms. And then in those bunk rooms, you can look down through like little holes in the floor
Mm-hmm.
and either see the baby kangaroos or the camels. And then there's another tunnel that connects the 2 bunk rooms that has fish tanks in it with lights.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
That it
Very
sounded
cool.
awesome.
It's
wasn't it?
pretty sweet.
Yeah. And you can see the sloths.
Yeah.
in there.
Yeah.
I
You're
just
in the-
struggle to sleep
It's
currently
there's a window right up there.
without AC. Like I just sleep really hot.
Well, there's AC.
There's AC?
Yeah,
Okay.
people
Yeah.
would not be standing here if
Not
there's no
okay.
AC.
Not in the barn though, right? The
Only the barn
Barn
loft
loft.
is the only
Yeah.
one that doesn't, and I think maybe the glamping site. But all the wagons, the cabin, the condo. Oh
Like
yeah.
for the condo.
Oh,
I thought you were pointing up, so I was thinking that you were talking about.
it is.
the
It is.
barn.
It is. The camel condo is right here above us.
Okay.
Yeah, the barn loft
The
is
barn.
up at the equestrian, and that's
Okay.
just like for people that love horses.
Horses,
I mean,
okay.
we get people that somebody came here for Germany on their honeymoon, and they're like, we love horses, and they wanted to stay with the horses. I was like, I like horses, not that much.
Yeah, yeah,
But yeah, they all have AC,
yeah.
and it
I
works
think-
in the
I
wagons
think when we
too.
were gonna stay, that was the only option available
Oh,
to
yeah.
stay, and we were like,
I wouldn't swing it in June, July.
Yeah,
Like in
yeah.
the fall and spring, it
Yeah.
feels really good
Yeah.
and it's nice. But in summer, I'm like, maybe if you're just used to that.
yeah,
Yeah,
if you
yeah.
like camping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where does where does Dash go?
He goes back to the main house,
Okay, like above us.
like the big house when you drove in.
Okay.
So when they're
Just
babies, they
inside.
Yeah.
They stay close, that way they can monitor them, make sure that they're okay and everything.
Yeah.
I think when Flash scratches like that, it's hilarious. Like,
Yeah.
he like lets his leg hang down.
Yeah. It's a very, very chill experience.
That's so cool.
So what is Cedar Brook Outreach?
It's a nonprofit organization in Knoxville, Tennessee.
Yeah.
So they've got food pantry, they do like a lot of, there's some
Bible
after school
clubs.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
care. They have like an addiction recovery ministry.
Yeah.
They have, it's kind of a mixed bag. They have clothing. You
That's
know,
awesome.
So it's, our church is pretty
Trying to help out
closely.
at-risk families.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of at-risk families in a food desert surrounding our church.
Yeah.
And so we're trying to help that.
Do you have Kroger here? Kroger?
No, we
grocery
don't.
stores? Okay.
Mm-mm.
If you have a Kroger value card,
Yeah.
you can register that card to a percentage of the proceeds goes.
Yeah.
But
That's
so
cool.
They just, it's called Knox Haven, which is different than Cedar Brook, but they just are opening a store that's kind of like the store in Nashville,
Mm-hmm.
which is for a food pantry.
Yeah.
So they're really, really excited about
Is there a website or anything?
Yeah, there is that both of them. Not cedarbrookoutreach.com, I believe.
And I think that they try to do like mentoring. Don't they have a mentor? I think they have a mentoring
Cedar Brook?
process. It's just really hard. Like the
Yeah, they do.
few communities that they have, it's completely different than anything that you or I are familiar with, because we get up and go to work and
Yeah.
they have a schedule and they like stay up till 3 a.m. and they don't get up till 2 o'clock in the
Yeah.
afternoon, and it's just chaos.
Yeah.
It's chaos, and it's just very cyclical. It's really hard to break free from a lot of those addictions and just patterns that have been passed down.
Yeah.
This is how you
Generational.
generation, yeah. But
Well,
they
good.
do
Yeah.
ESL classes there because a lot of the people are from other countries,
So,
refugees and such.
Mhm.
So they have a large community of different. I think there was like 50 different countries
Wow.
in the radius of like our area. We call the Walmart near our church the International Walmart, because literally you will see people from,
Yeah.
I mean, Asian countries, African countries, Middle Eastern countries. Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
do you ever hold a sloth and it hangs on your arm?
Zoe will do that, and
Yeah.
Dash will do that.
Yeah.
As soon as they're hanging though, they immediately want to pull into you. Like
Yeah.
they want to be safe and secure.
Yeah.
Their claws are they like fingernails, or are they like?
Yeah, they're covering the
Claws.
bone, so that bone goes almost all the way. So you know, a lot of times, like when you clip dogs' nails, you're like, oh, you can get back to here till you're in the quick or whatever. Their nail is going most of the way through that.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Such a sweetie.
Yeah.
Such a sweetie. What are you doing over
I
there?
think I guess with these, do they have like a litter box, or do they?
So Flash does really good on coming down out of the tree, just like how Wild Sloth and using the bathroom. Zoe makes a mess.
Mhm.
So we're still working on kind of getting her to understand that she's supposed to come down out of the tree and do it there.
Yeah.
So I think the next step will be when we're pretty close to the end of that bathroom cycle, because it's 7 to 10 days. Probably putting some of her poop basically on the ground and being like, this is where you should do that,
Mhm.
not in your hammock.
How old is Zoe?
Her birthday was December 16th, so what is that, 18 months basically?
Oh wow.
Yeah.
And this one is how old?
He is 8 months.
Okay.
Yeah. And I feel like she kind of started to hit her growth spurt close to a year also.
Yeah.
So I think that's when he'll be like,
Yeah. Well,
boom.
thank you so much for
He's so
letting us.
cute.
Oh, you're welcome.
Look, he's got his little tongue
Is it,
sticking out here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cut these off.